It's the new year in Dallas, Texas, and people arrived early here as they have done these past 50 years to witness one of college football's postseason traditions, the Cotton Bowl Classic. They have traveled from College Station, Texas and Auburn, Alabama, mostly to watch one man, Vincent Edward Jackson, Bo Jackson, the 1985 Heisman Trophy winner. Bo arrived a little earlier here at his office in Dallas, and even at Auburn, a Heisman Trophy winner carries his own shoulder pads. Bo's task will be to challenge Texas A&M and the shadow of their storied 12th man. That crowd of students and former students who will stand and cheer A&M the entire game long. They are an imposing force. They even have their own representatives covering kickoffs during games. But make no mistake about it, Bo Jackson can be an intimidating force all by himself. He is a bruising, powerful runner, unafraid to run over you. And he is also fast. He's been timed in 4.12 seconds for no one, not Herschel Walker, not Eric Dickerson, not any back since O.J. Simpson has been as highly coveted by the NFL scouts. He has thrilled Auburn fans for 4 great years. And today, this mighty War Eagle plays his last game for Auburn. And his hope is to come out on top. We are live at the 50th annual Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It is Texas A&M, the winner of the matched against Auburn conference. And at this moment, Jackie Sherrill is talking to his Aggies, getting them ready for the game. Let's.
We're going to enough to win the ball game. I don't care what happens in the first quarter. I don't care what happens. Ball game comes down to the last second because somebody is got enough film and collect do it. We will. I asked Dr. Henson to come in here, give us a little prayer. Before he does, I want to ask each one of you, are you prepared?
Yes.
Yes. Millions and millions of people would love to have your chance. And we're not here because we're not prepared. I want you to take 1 second or 10 seconds and go back about how much work you've played, how much sacrifice you've made to be here. 12th man, you prepared.
Yes.
Not where you want to be. It's are you prepared? Dr. Henson.
Let's pray together. Our Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for the preparation of this opportunity. And I thank You, Lord, for every young man in this
across
room,
the way,
for every coach.
Bo Jackson meditating and concentrating, getting ready for the Cotton Bowl. So it's the Cotton Bowl. Bo Jackson and Auburn getting ready to take on the Aggies of Texas A&M. Then we'll be right back. We are live from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It is Texas A&M against the Auburn Tigers, and Pat Dye and the Tigers are coming out onto the field here in Dallas. They are led by the mighty Bo Jackson, who will go down in the record books as one of the greatest running backs ever to play the game of college football. A Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the Cotton Bowl. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Ara Parsegan and Jim Nance. For Jackson today, the task is a difficult one. Texas A&M is one of those young, improving teams A&M wants to springboard from this classic into the preseason rankings next year. They would love to go in touted as one of the top 5 teams in all of college football. But to do that, they must stop Bo Jackson and the Auburn Tigers. And now the Aggies are coming onto the field. Their first Cotton Bowl since 1968 when they upset a mighty Alabama team. And they are led by a man who once played for Bear Bryant at Alabama, Jackie Sherrill. And the Aggies will come pouring onto this field, and the Cotton Bowl will explode. His 4th year, he arrived at Texas A&M from Pittsburgh. He has known some lean, tough times, but now he has risen to the top of the Southwest Conference, and his Aggies are primed for their biggest moment ever to take on the Auburn Tigers and the Heisman Trophy winner, Bo Jackson. Well, Happy New Year, Coach Parsegan. And you know, you have been such a big part of the Cotton Bowl. You brought Notre Dame down here for a couple of great games against Texas. You broadcast the Doug Flutie game with Boston College last year. Let me ask you about these two teams. What about Auburn and A&M, Coach?
Well, this is one of the fun things about doing a bowl game. You get to go back and review what they've done the entire year. And the thing that really jumps out, Brent, is the versatility of college football and the contrast between these two teams. For example, Auburn is a running football team. They're going to keep that ball on the ground about 80% of the time. Ordinary passing game. Texas A&M is a very versatile, multiple offensive football team, but yet both teams have averaged about 400 yards during the course of the season.
Now, how about some of the players? For example, Bo Jackson is such an enormous star.
Well, he's Mr. Everything, no question about that. Heisman Trophy winner. This is what he's done for this year. 278 rushes, as you see, 17 touchdowns. But when you look at Texas A&M, which is an interesting contrast, they have a one-back offense. These two fullbacks, Anthony Toney and Roger Vick, 362 rushes, 20 touchdowns. So they can run the football.
Now, Aaron, there is a big difference, however, between these two offenses.
Exactly right, and that's at the quarterback spot. And the statistics bear that out. Pat Washington, as you see, a 45% passer. Murray, 58.6. But look at the difference in the touchdowns. 2 for Washington and 13. The outcome of this game could be determined by the performance of these two players.
How about emotion in this Cotton Bowl Classic? Who do you think it favors right now?
Well, Texas A&M is coming in here on a real high. Great confidence. They've won the conference championship the first time that they've come into this game in 18 years. They really want to play. There was some question about how Auburn might come into this game because they were on a downer. They had lost the last-second game to the traditional rival. But I watched them practice the last 2 days. They're up. They've got pride. They want to represent their conference, and they come from a winning program, Brent.
All right, so it is going to be Texas A&M and Auburn, and the captains at midfield. Texas Governor Mark White will flip the coin, and we will be back with the opening kickoff of this, the 50th annual Cotton Bowl Classic, live from Dallas, Texas, coming up on CBS in just a moment.
CBS Sports presents the 50th Cotton Bowl Classic. Live from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, it's the Auburn Tigers versus the Texas A&M Aggies. Sponsored by Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. And by Mr. Goodwrench. No one knows your GM car better than Mr. Goodwrench. No one.
The spirit of Aggieland being played, and the entire Texas A&M team facing over toward its student body, one of the many traditions at that school. confrontation between Texas A&M and Auburn. You know, there's another tradition at A&M. That's the 12th man to fill us in, and a Happy New Year to our colleague Jim Nance. Jim?
All right, well, thank you very much, Brent. You know, the story of the 12th man actually started right here in Dallas in 1922 when a Texas A&M student by the name of E. King Gill was asked to come out of the stands at halftime in a game against Central College and suit up for the second half. It's out of respect for E. King Gill's loyalty and spirit for Texas A&M that the Aggie student body and most of their fans will stand up for the duration of all of their football games. We'll be seeing that today as well. Now, last year, Jackie Sherrill took the 12th man a step further when he asked the student body to try out for the kickoff coverage unit. Over 350 tried out last year, including a couple of women. 200 tried out this year. And today we'll see 11 non-scholarship athletes on the field when Texas A&M has their kickoff coverage unit on the field. Part of the tradition here at Texas A&M. We're going to see it today. Let's go back upstairs. We're about ready to start. Here's Brent Musburger.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. We'll have to wait for a time to see those non-scholarship students because Auburn won the flip and elected to defer. So Texas A&M said, we will take the ball, and Chris Johnson has it teed up for Auburn. Rod Harris is the deep man standing just inside the goal line for Jackie Sherrill and A&M. What a gorgeous day here in Dallas, Texas. You could not order up a more perfect setting for a college football game. They'll down it for the touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at this offensive lineup. Kevin Murray, keep him in mind, number 14. He's going to be a good one. Anthony Toney and Roger Vick. They will operate at fullback. Era told you about them. Keith Woodside, breakaway speed. Harry Johnson, more of a slashing inside runner when he comes in. Jeff Nelson led the Southwestern Conference. And Shea Walker, he's a Freddie Bolitnikoff type receiver. 1st and 10, A&M will alter its offensive sets. They will strike out of the eye on 1st down. And Kevin Murray will throw it out. Incomplete. He wanted his tight end, Ron Burtonstein, number 29. Well, Era, let's meet the offensive line. Where's the strength for Texas A&M?
Webb, the tight end, is a very fine football player. The left tackle, Cheek, strong, very strong player. Wiley. Wilson is an outstanding center. Dawson, and of course Williams is really their all-American guy. He's an outstanding football player.
2nd and 10. The Aggies with a slot back, and instead they will run the fullback right straight ahead, and Gerald Robinson of Auburn, number 95, took him on. Now there is the War Eagle. One of the most frequently asked questions about Auburn, are they the Tigers or are they the War Eagles? They are the Tigers, and they yell War Eagle. In fact, when they get real riled up down there in Alabama, they'll yell, War Damn Eagle. It is 3rd down and 8 yards to go for Texas A&M. A bobble on the exchange, and Auburn has picked up the first turnover of this football game. An exchange fumble on 3rd down by A&M. The first break of this Cotton Bowl era goes to Auburn.
That's a big error, particularly early. I cannot tell whether or not Murray tried to pull out, but certainly the turnover could be very costly in this early going.
Harold Hallman, the nose guard, pouncing on the ball near the 20-yard line. We'll get a look at Bo Jackson, number 34, for the first time. He'll come up behind Tommy Agee. He is the I-back. He is set about 6 yards behind his quarterback. Off the draw, Washington to throw on 1st down, and it's complete to Agee. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
There was a good reason for that pass. The anticipation by Auburn that Texas A&M would be up to stop the run, stop Jackson. It was a great misdirection pass. Agee was wide open. Watch Agee, the fullback, go into the right flat to fake to Jackson, pulls all the defenders, and he's wide open in the flat. That'll loosen up the defense. A great first play call.
Asbury was the defensive back, number 16, who took him out of bounds. 2nd and short, and they'll run that short man, Agee, and he powers right straight ahead against that A&M defense. And finally, Kip Corrington, number 10, brings him down. Let's take a look at this offense for Auburn that is trying to take Pat Dye into the end zone. Washington is their quarterback. He began the season number 3. Agee just carried it. He's the fullback. Mr. Everything, Bo Jackson. Now he is an H-back, Ron Middleton, or an extra tight end. Trey Gaines also returns punts. Freddie Wagan, red hair, just like Terry Beasley. Jeff Parks, 82, he'll be in the NFL too. Now Middleton, the H-back in motion. They like to run Jackson straight ahead, and he squeezes on in for the touchdown. Bo Jackson has done it for Auburn. Johnson to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is Auburn 7, Texas A&M nothing.
Take a look here from the side. Watch Jackson thrust into the end zone here. Really puts on the power, stretches over the line and gets the touchdown. A great start for Auburn, and not the way Texas A&M would have wanted to start it.
Watch Tamburella, number 55, the center for Auburn. He moves over and helps out as they double team the nose. Bo Jackson then cut back to his daylight, squeezed into the end zone. The fumble set up the touchdown. In only 3 plays, 21 yards, Auburn leads. Bo Jackson, the Heisman Trophy winner, who has scored his team's first touchdown. He had a lot of help up front, Era.
Yes, watch the right guard and the center Tamburello double up right here, and the fullback comes through and makes a great block on the linebacker. Take a look. You see A.G. come right through number 30 on 65 Kelm, throws the block, and there's that daylight that Jackson found.
Now, I mentioned the weather here in Dallas this afternoon, and of course, for a football coach or a quarterback, the most critical element is the wind. And here this afternoon, there is a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind out of the west, so it is at the back of Chris Johnson. And that's why he took that first kickoff out of the end zone. Rod Harris, the wide receiver, is now set back at the goal line, and he moves over more toward the right hash. And another powerful kickoff, a touchback. A&M's second possession. They'll come up at the 20-yard line and put it in play, trailing 7-0. Era, how does that affect the mood of this game? Auburn scoring quickly after a turnover.
Well, it's not the way Texas A&M obviously wanted to start. That kind of a turnover really puts a disadvantage. Although the opening series by Auburn's defense, I thought, was very, very good.
Era, they have already switched running backs at A&M. Roger Vick, 43, comes in. Harry Johnson, 21. He's over in a wing, and now Johnson comes in motion. Here is Vick, straight ahead behind the right side of that offensive line. Let's take a look at the Auburn defense, Era, and how do they stack up front?
Well, it's very interesting about this defense as you go through here. Rocker, Hallman, and Williams, the 2 tackles and the nose man, are the 3 leading tacklers. Very unusual for a defensive team where the 3 down linemen are the leading tacklers.
2nd and 6 against that defense. They pitch to Vicks. He busts 1 tackle and gets out near the 29. Harold Hallman, the nose guard, and Russ Carricker, the linebacker, doubled up on him. So it'll be 3rd and short for A&M. And the rest of that defense, Era, what about the deep backs for Auburn?
Well, you see that Carricker and Phillips are the 2 linebackers, and then their strong secondary man, of course, is Powell, their free safety. But all of them respond well to the run. A little weak on pass defense in some instances.
3rd and 2, and Murray throws high, incomplete. Harry Johnson was the intended receiver out of the backfield. Kevin Murray off to a bit of a shaky start, and Jackie Sherrill will attempt to calm him down.
Well, it's not a good start for them. Here you see Murray right in the pocket. He gets excellent protection, plenty of time to throw the ball. But he overshoots his receiver, who was open and would have given him a first down and continued possession of the ball.
Todd Shantz is number 4. You're looking from behind him. Deep for Auburn. Trey Gaines lets it bounce. It takes an A&M roll. down near the 25-yard line. It'll be down right there. 1st and 10 for Bo Jackson and friends, who lead in this Cotton Bowl 7-0. We'll come back and take another look at the Heisman Trophy winner in just a moment. The men in the trenches for Auburn, a big factor. To get more on that, let's go downstairs to Jim Nance. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Brent. After that first series, Auburn's offensive line coach, Neil Callaway, talked to his offensive linemen, asked each one of them to a man how they did in their matchup against the Aggie defensive line. They all felt very confident. They all said they handled their man rather easily, surprisingly easily. Of course, we know if some gaps could be opened up for Bo Jackson, it could be a very big afternoon for the Heisman Trophy winner.
1st and 10. Washington again to throw on 1st down under enormous pressure. He is sacked by John Roper, the linebacker, taking him down.
Nobody picks up Roper. He just comes in. You'll see him from the far side. It's a sprint out pass, a flood pass into an unbalanced line. You see Roper coming right here, throws his arms up and then grabs a hold of Washington. Someone missed an assignment in there at blocking.
What was it? They said they were handling their men easily. That wasn't very easy that time. 2nd and 21. That familiar I formation for Auburn. And here comes Bo Jackson looking for daylight. And 2 Aggies bring him down near the 20-yard line.
The last 2 times out, formation-wise, Auburn was in an unbalanced line. They're taking the left tackle, Wallace, bringing him over, putting him beside Searles, their right tackle, so that they have 3 big men along with Middleton, number 87, when they put him in there. And they're going to try to create a power base there. The pass was off the same formation, but of course they did not block it.
3rd and 17. Washington has not been a consistent passer this year. Single setback. Washington under pressure, and he is brought down at the 16-yard line. And that was Ron Sadler, a defensive end, and he's a big-time player, number 99. He'll be a star in the NFL someday. Now a one-time walk-on at Auburn, Lewis Colbert, and an All-American punter, standing near his 2-yard line. His first punt. Jimmy Hawkins going way back inside the 25-yard line. Trying to get outside and turn upfield, and he steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So that's where Texas A&M will have possession. So in this 50th Cotton Bowl Classic, Auburn leads Texas A&M 7-0. We'll be right back. Lewis Colbert just showed us why he's an All-American. 61 yards. He's a very special story here today. And for that, let's go down to Jim Nance. Jim?
Thank you, Brent. Lewis Colbert had to overcome tremendous adversity. He was born with a club foot, had an operation before high school. Doctors told him not to play football, but he went out for his high school team anyway. Then he walked on at Auburn, still wanted to fulfill a lifelong dream of playing college football. His 2nd year, Pat Dye gave him a scholarship after such a tremendous effort his freshman year at Auburn. Pat Dye told me this week it was one of the happiest days of his coaching career, the day he gave Lewis Colbert a well-deserved scholarship here at Auburn. 61 yards, a good start for him. Let's go back upstairs with Brent.
All right, Jim, thank you. The eyes of Kevin Murray. He now steps under the gun. Trailing by 7. He'll try to rally the Aggies. He pitches, and that is to Tony, who gets out at the 35-yard line. That was Keith Woodside, number 33. Let's take a look at Woodside. Now, he's one of their quicker backs as they continue to rotate. He has the ability to break one here this afternoon. Tony, 25, leading this play, and Woodside cuts off the block up inside where there was a seam. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Aggies. From the eye, and the short man, Tony, goes right straight ahead, and he is met by linebacker Edward Phillips. Era, when you brought Notre Dame down here for those 2 Cotton Bowls, how was the weather?
Well, we had horrible weather the first game, Brent. It had rained. This was not a synthetic surface field. It was a natural grass field. They brought helicopters in and tried to beat the water off, and they put sawdust. It was not a good field. The second time we came back, we had a great field, the artificial surface, and we had a fast field even though it was cold.
Fast track today. Murray to throw again, right over the middle, complete to Bernstein, the tight end, who busts across midfield, down to the 47-yard line. That's a 16-yard gain, and the Aggies have got the offense rolling here for the first time.
Well, this is the multiple aspect of this Texas A&M team. Tight end Bernstein, right in there. They put 4 receivers out. The 5th goes on out from the fullback spot. The linebackers have dropped off, and you can see Bernstein wide open. Murray hits him.
On first down, the handoff is to Tony. Ari, you mentioned that big right tackle, number 75, Doug Williams of the Aggies. He played at Moeller High School, then he went to Kentucky, and he transferred to College Station, and Williams is almost a certain #1 draft choice by the NFL. When the Aggies need 1, 2, or 3 yards today, look for them to run up behind big number 75. Second down, in motion. Murray straight back quickly. Bernstein was open, but he can't get it off in time. Carricker comes through on the blitz from his linebacking spot.
This is very unusual for the Auburn team. They don't do a whole lot of blitzing, but that time Carricker, number 47, did a great job. Take it right from ground level. You see Murray coming back into the pocket, and watch Carricker, number 47, right there. Put the pressure on it as he blitzes from that weak linebacker spot. Great job by Carricker.
Era, so far, the Auburn Tigers have made all the big plays in this game.
And that is Carricker's first sack of the year.
Murray, he'll drop a swing pass, and it was not a well-thrown ball. He got the pass in front of Tony. He overled him.
It was a perfect screen setup. Murray hit him. They had all the blockers out there. They had a good play set up, but Murray didn't quite get it to him.
He has started 1 of 4 for 16 yards. And sometimes it is difficult for a quarterback to shake out of a bad start. It can make it an uphill battle all game long.
Well, that sack really put him in a negative position.
Chance punting for the second time. It's a low punt. Gaines runs up and fumbles the ball. Texas A&M recovers. Monty J was downfield on that specialty team, and number 51 scooped it up, and the Aggies get a turnover.
Is one of the most consistent players. He comes up to try to field the ball. He didn't the last time. It's a tough catch. You see the ball hits his left knee, and he can't field it. It bounces forward, and of course this is a quick break for the A&M team.
Kevin Murray asking for a little quiet. Hands off to Vick, who is back in at fullback. That's Roger Vick, who's 6'3", 218, only a junior out of Tomball, Texas. And Tracy Rocker brought him down for Auburn.
See, the principle of the offense is, you see, they open it up one back in the back. If they deploy, Auburn deploys out to stop the pass, they'll give the ball to the fullback, and you try to get that 4 and 5 yards. If they keep the linebackers in there, then they go to their 4 and 5 receivers. It's a very tough attack to defend.
Nelson in motion, and instead they will run right straight ahead with Vick again. Trying to wear down the middle of that Auburn defense. Coming up this weekend, of course, a big one in the NFL, isn't it? The divisional playoffs. And on CBS, we will bring you the Dallas Cowboys out at Anaheim to play the Los Angeles Rams. We'll start at 3:30 Eastern time. And then on Sunday, it'll be the Giants and the Bears, 12 noon from Soldier Field. 3rd and 3. Murray to put it up for the 5th time. Complete. He hits Walker with a sideline pass for a first down. Well-thrown ball.
Well, the Auburn team was out of character that time. They went to a man-to-man coverage. They really were playing too far off their defenders. They put a blitz on by the linebackers. Watch the linebackers come. You see, and they're almost a goal line defense. Here come the linebackers delayed. But the secondary is too far off. You can see right here, number 45, who is Jimmy Warren, is way too far off as a receiver.
And that gives the Aggies a first down at the 15. Now they'll run Vick straight ahead. He gets near the 10-yard line on first down. Jackie Sherrill watching, and that completion by Murray can do wonders for him because he was off to a shaky start throwing the ball.
Well, you know, he came into the season with into this game with almost a 60% average, so you know somewhere along the line he's going to start hitting them. Although quarterbacks can have bad days like everybody else.
On second down, again he has Nelson in motion, and this time they pitch to Johnson. Johnson breaks free. Great second effort on into the end zone. So for Jackie Sherrill, it was Harry Johnson out of Pasadena, California. Grew up in the shadow of the Rose Bowl, and now he has scored a touchdown in the Cotton Bowl. This is Eric Franklin attempting the extra point. No good. A big miss. Auburn holds a 1-point lead. Franklin shaking his head in disbelief.
Well, Harry Johnson is a 6 foot, 188-pound freshman. I mean, this is real effort. Look at the linemen up there. Let's see who misses. I can't quite see. Had a pretty good shot at him, and Johnson ran right on through for the touchdown. Great piece of running.
Let's take one more look. Murray on the toss to Johnson. He slips into the seam. He should have been brought down by Powell. He couldn't get over in time to help out, and then breaking free, Johnson gets on in. And what happens when you score a touchdown and you're an Aggie fan? Well, there's the replay. That's tradition. Boy, if you go to Texas A&M, you got to hope your team scores about 50 a game, don't you? We'll be right back.
Aggies.
We are back, and now we are going to show you one of those marvelous traditions at Texas A&M. Started only in 1983 by Jackie Sherrill, the 12th men. Outside of the kicker, you are looking at 10 non-scholarship athletes at Texas A&M. They come down only on kickoff coverage. Now, with the 12th man, you can see the enormous difference. No one has ever returned a kickoff for a touchdown against these non-scholarship students. The longest return is 29 yards, and there is an Auburn return man who is determined to do something about it. His name is Brent Fullwood. He's number 22. He's standing back at the 2. The 12th man is ready to set sail again for Jackie Sherrill. And here they come. Fullwood lets it bounce on in the end zone, a touchback, and so the 12th man will not get to strut their stuff right now. It'll be first down on the 20-yard line. What a simply grand tradition that was, but if you were a head coach and someone had suggested invite all the walk-ons at Notre Dame to come out and we'll use them for kickoff coverage, what would you have said?
Boy, absolutely. I would. I'm sorry, I didn't think of the idea.
In the Fiesta Bowl, over in Tempe, Nebraska leading Michigan 7-3. Yesterday was a bad day for the Big Ten. Both Illinois and Michigan State beaten in bowl games. Reggie Ware now in at fullback, and again on first down, Washington looking to pass, and again it's John Roper, the linebacker, who takes him down, his second sack.
Auburn is trying to loosen up the Texas A&M defense, but they cannot protect. Here comes Roper again. This is just a sprint out. Looks like he wants to throw back, but here's Roper taking the inside on a stunt, brings Washington down, and not a very good way to set up a passing attack.
So the third sack overall by the Aggies. Second by Roper. Tommy Agee back in at fullback in front of Bo Jackson. It's Jackson. And they gang up on him, and there's a penalty marker thrown. Penalty marker is down. The line judge running forward, tossing it. Sammy O'Brien, the outstanding nose guard, held the middle.
And Ben Tamburello, who is an outstanding center, All-American. You watch right here as he goes against O'Brien, who is 6'3", 244. He comes off the block, sliding down the line, and does a good job on him. He played an outstanding game against the University of Texas.
Well, it was our first penalty of this Cotton Bowl game.
Well, the one thing you got to keep in mind in a ball game like this is when you've got a Bo Jackson, he can go anytime. He can break away anytime. He's that kind of speed. He can break tackles. Let's see what this call is.
Face mask on the defense. Still second down.
A face mask penalty by our officials, who many of whom are out of the Big 8 Conference here this afternoon in this Cotton Bowl. Our referee, Sam Maphis. The umpire is Bob Holliday, and it was Kent Houck who threw the flag that time, and the rest of our officials who are working here this afternoon. The play is in for Auburn, sent in from the sideline. Trey Gaines, split wide to the bottom of your screen, not in your picture right now. And on this second down, Bo Jackson is short of the 25-yard line. And this weekend, Era will be live from Anaheim. Jimmy the Greek and Irv Cross will be there. We'll take a look at John Robinson's Rams, and of course we'll be checking both teams right up to kickoff. 3:30 Eastern Time, Saturday afternoon from Anaheim. The Tigers pumped up, isn't he? Here is a third down for Washington and Auburn. Washington to throw. It was intended for Gaines, incomplete. Domingo Bryant, number 6, claiming that he got the ball. He is a big play defensive back. Let's take a look at Bryant.
Domingo's got 7 sacks, so he's really a great player. They're doing some stunning on the inside. Let's see what happens right at this. Looks like the ball was there, but Domingo thought he took it away from him. But the ball must have hit the ground. Cannot see it from that angle.
Colbert's second punt for Auburn. Remember, his first one was 61 yards. Hawkins fields it near the 30. And he is down at the 37-yard line. Sean Morris down to make the tackle. That was a 46-yard punt and a 6-yard return. 7-6, Auburn leading, Texas A&M missing an extra point. Turnovers have set up both touchdowns here this afternoon in this Cotton Bowl. And Kevin Murray and the Aggies go back to work. And the running backs, Anthony Toney, 25, and Keith Woodside, 33. They have been shuttling backs. Toney is set behind Murray, who will throw on first down, right over the middle, complete to Bernstein. I did not expect to see the tight end featured this much for Texas A&M, and that was a gain of 22 yards.
And I'm sure that's exactly what Auburn thought, because they have not featured him. But you'll see the 2 linebackers run out, and right in the middle, Bernstein right in the seam. Nobody there, and he turns and runs that ball right up the field. Great offensive play by Texas A&M.
Nelson coming in motion, and they run Toney straight ahead to the 36-yard line up the middle. A multiple set offensive attack by Jackie Sherrill.
Auburn's in a little bit of a dilemma now, I think, Brent, because they got burned in their man-to-man coverage and are not able to contain Murray and the Texas A&M offense, passing game, I should say, in a pure zone. So they're going to have to do some other things, I think, with their linebackers.
2nd and 4 for Sherrill's Aggies. Nelson coming in motion, off the play fake. Murray looking for all of it, and Nelson, who trips down at the 5. There is no interference called on the play. He simply got his feet tangled up. Kevin Porter had coverage for Auburn, number 3.
Kevin Porter did a fine job, an excellent job in his coverage that time. He was right on him, played the ball well. Take another look. This is Nelson coming down the right sideline. You'll see Murray left that ball up just before he got hit, but you'll see Porter in beautiful position, excellent position.
We take another look at it in Era against the Longhorns. It was a shorter pass play, and Nelson made the catch for a touchdown. Murray comes back to Walker, complete inside the 25-yard line. A First down for the Aggies, and Thomas was there on the coverage for Auburn.
Beautiful timing on that play, Brent. The ball was thrown by Murray just as Walker put a move upfield and then turned and came back, and the ball was right there. Almost impossible to defend.
Injured player on the field, and that is Harold Hallman, their talented nose guard. That would be a blow to the middle of that Auburn defense right now. Harold, let's talk for a minute about Kevin Murray. I know a lot of folks do not know that Murray was a minor league baseball player in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. And you and I spoke to him yesterday about a young pitcher that he faced a couple of times, Dwight Gooden. What did he tell you about that experience?
What was it he said? He says he K'd 3 times in a row, was it?
Said my second time out, he struck me out 3 times, and I became a quarterback quickly. And there's another baseball player on the field, Bo Jackson. And I asked him his feelings about his last game for Auburn here today in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, I said, hey, this is my last game, and I'm just trying to go out with a big bang, whether I win or lose. It's my final college game playing for Auburn, and I just want to come out and have fun to try to help my team win the 4th straight bowl game.
He'll need help from the defense. Woodside is open. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Now the pressure is back on Bo Jackson. He'll need to get Auburn another touchdown, a 22-yard run. And Doug Williams, 75, made another big block for Jackie Sherrill.
For 2 here to make up for that extra point.
Murray brings the Aggies up. Lobs one, incomplete. And it'll stay at 12-7.
Well, this is a nice job of Keith Woodside, number 33, right in the I-back position, finding the daylight. See, Tony makes a beautiful block right there on number 46, Phillips, the linebacker. And, of course, Woodside finds the daylight, does a nice job of running his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Now the 2-point attempt, and Kevin Murray knew that he overthrew this ball just a bit. This is one of the favorite patterns at A&M. Run to the corner, and it's just a touch high. Nelson extending, and he can't quite get it. So they have missed both extra point opportunities here, and they will stand at 12-7, and we will get another look at the 12th man versus Brent Fullwood of Auburn. Again, 10 non-scholarship students, all of whom are out of the state of Texas, and they'll rile up Aggie fans right now. Key man to watch when they come downfield is Dennis Mudd, number 4. His nickname on the far left is Maniac Mudd. Low kick. It'll be a short man at the 10. At the 20, there's a hole, and he gets out to the 33-yard line before Kyle Collins and Sean Morris. So Morse was bringing it back. And again, it was Danny Balker, number 2, who tackled him.
Ball bobbling around like this, throws off the timing, but you can see the crease opens up right there, and he pops through. A saving tackle right there. It's still pretty good field position for the Auburn Tigers.
Pat Dye telling us yesterday, I really want to bust one against the 12th man. He had an alley that time, didn't he? Here comes Bo Jackson on first down. One of the things that any defense has to watch out for against Bo Jackson is that ability to cut back if you over pursue. If you are so diligent in trying to cut him off, he'll take you back the other way.
Well, what happened there, Domingo Bryant blitzed from that side and forced Jackson back to the inside. This is the defensive plan that they had. It didn't work well that time.
Auburn has been held to 15 yards rushing so far. It is second down from the eye. Jackson, and he is stacked up right away. Nowhere to go, and again it is John Roper, the linebacker, number 83, who is playing an outstanding game here so far for the Aggies.
Doing some stunning with Roper. The tackle will step outside, and Roper will come back inside as an outside linebacker, and they're causing confusion for the Auburn blockers. You see Pat Dye is concerned.
Let's see what his offensive coaching staff comes up here. It is 3rd and 8. Washington straight back with good protection, good time, and there is a penalty marker down. Trey Gaines was down at the 45-yard line, and there was a penalty marker thrown on the play. James Flowers was the defensive back working against Gaines.
I think they're going to call interference. Holding.
No, I didn't see it tip.
Ball was tipped. He was calling.
I think he had the microphone on for a moment when he wanted it off, and then they got into a little bit of a discussion, and now they're calling everybody over here.
They called pass interference, but the ball was tipped, and it makes it legal then.
The ball was tipped. Disregard the flag.
Good call, Coach.
Well, that's what happened on it. There was contact that was made. As the ball is tipped, then you're free access to the receivers. You can make contact. And you'll see right here, the ball is tipped. And then, of course, the receiver was hit just in the process right there.
The man who tipped it was Todd Howard.
And Flowers was the man that made the contact with the receiver.
Colbert to punt again. This will be his 3rd punt. And we will have to wait for a time. Timeout has been called. There were only 10 Auburn players on the field. Now the 11th man, number 41, jogs on into his position. And I'm sure Coach Dye is going to have a word or two for whoever is the coach of the punt team, because that cost them a vital first down. Texas A&M scoring its 2nd touchdown in this game to take the 12-7 lead, and watch Tony lead the way, 25, and Woodside following in behind his devastating block, then made the cutback and went the distance for the touchdown. A&M tried for 2 points and failed because they had missed an earlier kick, but they lead Auburn 12-7. The Tigers scoring first in this game after a fumble by the Aggies at their own 20-yard line. Total yards, and it's really lopsided.
It really is. Auburn with 12 yards, A&M with 121.
And here is Colbert punting for the 3rd time for Coach Dye. Hawkins will let this one go out of bounds. So Colbert wanted something a little bit straighter than what he got off that time. It's cold that afternoon. I hope it's warmer up there this weekend.
Can the Bears win that ball game?
Just ask anybody from Chicago and they'll tell you. Jerry Fontenot is now in centering for Texas A&M. Johnson and Vick are the running backs, and this is Roger Vick muscling through on first down. After the penalty, the ball was put down at the 18-yard line on that first down, and then Vick ran it out just beyond the 23. Time remaining in our first quarter here in this, the 50th Cotton Bowl Classic. Murray eyeing the Auburn defense. Hands off again to Vick. It's one of those offenses that can lull you to sleep running off tackle, off tackle, off tackle, and then Murray can hit you with about a 30-yard pass play.
Well, Jackie Sherrill brought in Lynn Amity, who was the architect of the Vanderbilt offense. They did a lot of things. Oh, we've got an injury down here.
Auburn player is down. Williams is down for Auburn.
Well, he is, he's their best down lineman, Gerald Williams.
Being tended to there by the trainers. So we're coming to the end of the first quarter. Pat Dye and the Auburn Tigers scoring first, but they're trailing. And there have been so many great moments down here in the 50 years of Cotton Bowl history, and of course no one is better equipped to tell that story than Lindsey Nelson. And Lindsey will be here at halftime, and we'll take a look at the Cotton Bowl's past. First down on that run, the short man, it is Vick, and he is met at the point of attack. Tracy Rocker, number 74, was the first Auburn Tiger to get a lick at it. Here is some of the contact that we're seeing right here. A little of that hand-to-hand warfare, if you will, that goes on between blocker and defender trying to get free.
It was Andre Bruce, number 93, who was a freshman, but Pat Dye is really high on him. He thinks he's going to be a fine player.
Come to the end of the first quarter. 12-7, Texas A&M will return after this commercial and a word from your local station. Texas A&M leading after one quarter, 12-7. And the Aggies made some headlines off the field a little bit earlier. And for that story, let's get down to Jim Nance.
Brent, it's been kind of a rough year, actually, for the Southwest Conference when it comes to being placed on probation. And in the last month, there have been allegations in a Dallas newspaper, plus one Dallas television station, about irregularities in the Texas A&M recruiting. But Jackie Sherrill, before this game, was concerned how this might affect his players. He told them not to worry about this, do not talk to the media about it. I will handle it. I talked to several players. They said, actually, it's been a very positive thing for them. It's helped bond them together, made them a closer unit, and that was very evident here in the first quarter. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jim, and at halftime, I will ask Coach Sherrill if they pay football players at Texas A&M. That's coming up at halftime. We start the second quarter. It is 2nd and 10. Kevin Murray off a play fake, drops straight back, complete again to Bernstein, the tight end. Error again. Murray is finding his tight end underneath.
Well, he's continuing on with his season average. He's had a great year. He's the key figure in that offense. But again, I want to say something about Lynn Amity, who has really been the architect of this offensive football team, and they really are explosive.
And Auburn not so explosive in the first quarter. They run Vick right straight ahead, and he busts across midfield. Gerald Robinson and Tom Powell making the tackle.
Got Auburn completely off balance. They don't know whether to play the pass or the run. They're doing a great job. Watch the left guard. You'll see him cut right behind him. Right there, great block right there on Robinson, number 95, by Randy Wild.
And Vick again up the middle, this time inside the 40-yard line. Gerald Williams, who was not seriously injured, fortunately, making the stop for Auburn. Jackie Sherrill's Aggies have been dominating this game ever since an early turnover. And on that scoring drive for Auburn, they completed their only pass, and it was their first offensive play of the game. They have been shut down ever since. And another first down for Texas A&M. Playing in its first Cotton Bowl since 1968. And Pat Dye and Auburn playing in their first Cotton Bowl. Nebraska beating Michigan 14-3. That's somewhat surprising against that Michigan defense that we saw all year long, Era.
It really is, but Bo has had trouble in bowl games.
First down, Murray back. Under pressure. Now he'll keep it. And he's safe at second base there at the 35-yard line.
Very wisely gets down to the turf. Wants to come back to throw some more passes.
Sherrill will have him back next season, too. He broke his ankle last year in a game against Arkansas State. He was redshirted, very despondent. He did some rehabilitation work at the Dallas Cowboys training facility.
Right out of Dallas here.
Second down, bringing Harris in motion. On the pitch, it's Harry Johnson. Driven out of bounds, short of the 30-yard line. Edward Phillips, 46, was the defensive player who got him out. Well, after a shaky start, Era, there is no question but that Kevin Murray possesses a great deal of skill.
They've looked like a machine on the last two drives that they've had. They've really got Auburn off balance. Auburn needs a big play somewhere along the line. This third down play.
Complete. And it's a first down, and you know who. Rod Bernstein, the tight end.
They tried to blitz again. Single coverage. Powell could not stay with him. The free safety of Auburn. And you'll see it right here as he cuts across right in front of the screen. Murray comes back. Watch Powell, number 9, trying to stay with him, and he can't. And Bernstein's got the lead. He shakes both tacklers. And 45, Jimmy Warren finally gets him down.
4 catches for 63 yards for Bernstein. Handing off to Tony, who has checked in. Pat Thomas, number 41, with the tackle for Auburn. When you play in Auburn, Alabama, or College Station, Texas, and you start the season late August, early September, you need a lot of players, especially at that running back position. And Texas A&M will alternate up to 6 running backs against Auburn here this afternoon.
Texas A&M coaches, the offensive coaches, were telling me they feel that they can get 6 yards passing virtually any time.
From the coach's perspective. And a cutback by Johnson. And another Johnson, this one Arthur, number 40, and on the tackle for Pat Dye and Auburn. He is the strong safety in that secondary, and this defense has been under a great deal of pressure from the Aggies here.
Let's see what Auburn decides to do defensively on this play. I think they should just go right on the goal line defense. They're having trouble stopping them. Third down, they need to stop them some way.
It's 3rd and 4. They'd love to force a field goal attempt here if they can. And they will run, and they've stopped them short of that first down. Johnson not getting it. Gerald Williams, 98, and also Benji Rowland, number 96.
He's going to go with a field goal. He wants that 15th point on the board if he can get it, because it requires 3 scores. Or if you want to go for a 2-point play, it would require 2 two-point plays.
Franklin missed an extra point at the opposite end earlier in the game. Now he has that 10-mile-an-hour wind at his back attempting this field goal. He's at the left hash mark.
He's only 15 for 27 on field goals, and he missed a couple of chip shots in one of the key games, the SMU game.
Missing again, a 25-yarder. Oh, the life of a field goal specialist.
He's had a tough year.
His brother, meanwhile, coming off that record-tying performance with the New England Patriots last week against the New York Jets, and now the younger Franklin having difficulty here in the Cotton Bowl. We'll be right back. Well, to get a perspective on Eric Franklin's kicking problems, let's go down to Jim Nance. Jim?
Well, Brent, I talked to Eric Franklin yesterday at practice. He says he has not been kicking the football very well since a couple of days after the Texas game. In fact, he's talked to his brother Tony about the mechanics. Tony says everything looks okay. Now, I also talked to Franklin before the game today, and he still said it wasn't doing any better. So far, a mixed extra point and a field goal for Eric Franklin. Let's go back upstairs.
Tough, emotional moment for a young man. It's 12-7. The Aggies have the lead. Bo Jackson and Auburn coming back to work. They have thrown a lot on first down. Let's see if they get out of that pattern. This time they toss the ball to Jackson. He slips outside, turns, and gets to the 27-yard line. And Larry Kelm, 65, the leading tackler, was one of the first Aggies to hit him there.
That was that formation where they bring Wallace over with Searles, the two tackles to the right. And then they use Middleton, who is really a tight end, as the flanker back, and they tried to run off that tackle. Domingo Bryant was blitzing on the left side, and Jackson actually ran outside of him.
Reggie Ware, 36, in at fullback behind Washington. They hand to Ware. He's a powerful young man, getting close to the first down. Sammy O'Brien, the nose guard, number 90, who just simply dominated the middle against the Texas Longhorns in that game that the Aggies had to win, comes up with that big stop. The difference is offensively. The Aggies have dominated. And you know, when you think about bowl games, Era, I've always noticed that the team that can pass really gets the upper hand in a bowl game.
Well, as we pointed out at the top of the telecast, that the balance of the Texas team, their ability to run and pass equally well, was certainly an advantage.
Only the second first down for Auburn in this game. Washington to throw again on first down, has time, couldn't get an open receiver. Now he's on the move, and he's down at the 32-yard line, and Johnny Holland, number 11, the All-American linebacker, was giving pursuit over there on that side. That's the first time that we have called his name here this afternoon, and he's a good one. You can see him checking over at the sideline. He'll take the defensive call from the Aggie bench, and then he will pass it on in the huddle. There was only one poster up over in the A&M locker room in College Station, Texas, when I visited, and that was a poster of one Bo Jackson, who was stripped down to his football pants and ready to go to work, and Johnny Holland said, "Boy, I wish I had a body like that." Second down and 8. Washington is sacked and taken down by Jay Muller. That's the 4th sack by the Aggies of Washington here this afternoon.
They just are trying to establish a passing game, but they cannot get the protection, and Pat Washington is hesitant. He's afraid to throw the ball. He's afraid he's going to throw an interception. Of course, he didn't have a whole lot of time there, but they just are having a great deal of difficulty trying to establish a passing game.
3rd and 13, so you would expect them to try again against that waiting and tough Jackie Sherrill defense. Washington straight back, blitzed by Bryant. They drop it off to Bo Jackson. 35, 40, 45, 50. Here he comes. 40, 35. They won't catch him. Forget it. Bo Jackson for the touchdown. Just seen why he's number 1. You have just seen why he won the Heisman Trophy. And you have just seen why NFL scouts are drooling all across the land. 73 yards on a pass from Washington. Auburn will go for 2. Stopped short. That was Brent Fullwood, 22, carrying the ball into the heart of that Aggie defense. Era, Murray, you and I spoke about the Auburn attack all week long. We said the one thing they should do is drop the pass to Bo Jackson. He's such a great receiver, a great baseball player.
Exactly what they do here. His 5th reception of the year, and he goes 73 yards with it. Once he gets into the open, there's no one that can catch Bo Jackson. 4.12 in the 40. You can see no one in sight. Great play, and that's, as Brent, you pointed out, is why he is the Heisman Trophy winner, and everybody wants him in professional football.
He will also play baseball for Auburn as a senior. He has been drafted by the New York Yankees and later by the California Angels. The Angels offering him $250,000. Baseball will have to wait, however. The NFL scouts are after him, too. Chris Johnson with the ball teed up, and Auburn leading Texas A&M by a point. 8:28 to go. First half, the 50th annual Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas, Texas. Harris fielding the ball about a yard deep, and he is short of the 15-yard line. Bo Jackson's touchdown ignites the specialty team. You know, a lot of folks have asked me, why is he named Bo? Well, let's find out. Let's go back downstairs to Jimmy.
Well, Brent, his real name is Vincent Edward Jackson. But you see, when he was in the 6th grade, his friend said that he was as mean as a boar hog. Eventually, the hog was dropped and boar was shortened to Bo. That's how you got Bo Jackson. One thing's for sure, you can call him Bo or you can call him Vincent. But he's one incredible athlete, Mr. Jackson. He's made one name for himself. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Now it is the Aggies' turn it back. Kevin Murray pulling out on first down. Complete at the 30-yard line. He hits Shea Walker.
Boy, he hummed that one in there. Murray put some zip on that ball.
Well, Mr. Jackson has seized the spotlight away from young Mr. Murray. Now our other baseball player is coming back. Single setback. That's Roger Vick. Coming out near the 33-yard line. Well, let's reset the scene here in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. You can see there's a penalty flag down there, and they will show us the holding sign. It is the Auburn Tigers. And they like that penalty going against Texas A&M at this moment. Bo Jackson scored his first touchdown on a 5-yard run. It was 7-0 after the extra point. Texas A&M scored, and it was Johnson from 11 yards out. They missed the extra point kick. But then they took the lead as Woodside ran 22 yards. They went for 2 points, and that failed. It was 12-7. And moments ago, Washington dumping one off to Jackson, who took it 73 yards for the touchdown. Auburn went for 2. They missed, and we're sitting on a 1-point Cotton Bowl, 13-12, 7:56 to go, with Nebraska leading Michigan at the half in the Fiesta Bowl, 14-3. Now after the penalty, they'll run the draw play with Vick, and he busts one tackle, but not 2 more. The first man to hit him was Brian Smith. He slowed him up enough, and then help came from his friends.
Texas A&M has the kind of football team that can overcome penalties like this. It's not easily done, obviously, but Murray has the arm. They have the versatile attack to be able to do so, and they have 2 more downs to try to get it done.
This is 2nd and 21 for Murray and the Aggies. Murray is 7 of 11 for 104 yards. Here's his 12th pass. Bobbled, and the receiver dove back for the ball. To hold on was Tony Thompson, number 80. That's a 19-yard gain.
Thompson's just a freshman. You see it from the end zone. Murray in the pocket. Watch him move around. Not only does he have a great arm, he's able to scramble, and he sees well. There's the ball right there to Thompson. He bobbles it momentarily, gathers it back. Nice job by Thompson. And you can see they have 3rd and short.
Well, they got 19 of those 21 with that pass. Single setback. Murray to throw. He wanted Nelson, and it's incomplete.
Threw it into the ground.
Down.
I think he threw it into the ground. He was open. was trying to get Nelson, but it looked like Murray got the ball on a too low a trajectory.
Murray and the offense leave, and punter Todd Shantz on the field for the Aggies. Now Trey Gaines is set to return. He fumbled a punt, which led to an Aggie touchdown. This one he has at the 11, but he can't get anywhere. Alex Morris, number 30, who has been very visible on those specialty teams, comes down to make the stop. So we'll come back with Auburn leading Texas A&M by a point. 6:26 to go in the first half. When Bo Jackson takes a break, there's a tendency to relax. But Brent Fullwood is a very capable tailback. You can see what he's accomplished filling in for Jackson. Remember that Bo has missed playing time because of injuries. He played that entire Alabama game with a couple of broken ribs. Told us yesterday that he is fine for this Cotton Bowl. And after that 73-yard touchdown, he'll sit out a series. Ware is the fullback, and he runs right straight ahead and powers his way out to the 20-yard line. Now, both Ware and Fullwood are back for Coach Dye next season. However, Coach Dye will make a change with his offensive coordinator. It is a story that is known well around Auburn, and one of the men who may be added to Pat Dye's staff as a quarterback coach is up here working on the radio network for Auburn, another Heisman Trophy winner, Pat Sullivan. Second down for Washington, who hangs off to Fullwood. Fullwood, running away from his blockers, gets to the corner on the outside, and Holland was in pursuit of him over there. Coach is not too happy over there on the sideline, Aaron.
Well, I imagine he would like to maintain possession of that ball. He wanted a little bit of blocking on that side. He's got third down and short. The best way to stop the Texas A&M offense, which the Auburn Tigers have had difficulty with, is to maintain possession of the ball yourself.
Well, he's taking Fullwood out, and I think he wants to talk to him. I felt that Fullwood ran away from his blocker that time, and that there was something inside. Dye is speaking to him, and that means for the power eye, Bo Jackson is back in the field. They toss to Jackson. Jackson squeezes for what appears to be the first down. Todd Howard, 73 over there to bring him down.
Good patience that time by Bo Jackson. He waited for the little blocking open. You'll see it here, right from the end zone. He's very patient here. He waits. Now when he finally sees it, he's going to be tackled. He thrusts forward and does a nice job on it. 73, Todd Howard is the man that brought him down.
And he goes back out after getting Dye what he wanted, the first down. How the Heisman Trophy winner is doing. Fullwood is back in as the I-back. Ware is the fullback, and again it is Ware into the middle of that Aggie defense, out close to the 30. Dye obviously trying to take some time off that clock right now. They are down toward 5:20 here in the first half.
You know, it's interesting that that touchdown pass that Jackson ran was only the second touchdown pass in the last 34 quarters at Auburn. So they just haven't had that many touchdowns through the air.
The Aggie defense waited. Middleton, the H-back, comes in motion. Washington toss. Fullwood can't find a handle, has it on the hop. And Domingo Bryant, number 6, is up to bring him down. Well, just when I brag on Fullwood, he dribbles one for me and can't find his blocker.
Well, he got a favorable bounce for it to come right back. Otherwise, he could have been in real trouble.
That Bryant is one of the big play defensive backs in college football this year.
And also very good job of defense on the option. This is the first option play that Auburn has run. The ball was thrown a little bit high, but you see the ball came right back to him. Excellent job of defense. Domingo Bryant, their great strong safety, does a nice job.
Boy, they're doing a good job of blocking on Holland, aren't they? On third down, Washington overthrows the intended target that time. Freddie Wagan, way over his head. Before this game is over, I got to have Bo Jackson throw the ball. You know, but I want to double back on my thought. Johnny Holland, who has not been obvious. Now, the Auburn offense is certainly aware of him. And did you see him come back that time? Middleton, the tight end, he's going to go in about the 2nd or 3rd round in the NFL draft. Now Colbert to punt again. Gets one high. A&M will let it bounce dead. Down at the 39-yard line. We got a 13-12 Cotton Bowl. 4 minutes first half. We'll be right back. Texas A&M will have possession at the 40-yard line. The Aggies this year 9-2. Their 2 losses were both on the road to Alabama and Baylor. As a matter of fact, some of those Alabama folks say, hey, we've already won the Cotton Bowl. We beat Texas A&M early and Auburn late. Alabama coming through with a good second half to win the Aloha Bowl. But, boy, did you see that game? How many penalties can you have in the first half, huh? First down now. Murray back to throw it for the Aggies. Drills one to the sideline. It's complete to Rod Harris, number 17.
Another fine throw by Murray. Really impressed when he throws that sideline route and he has to get it there in a hurry because the coverage is tight. He just drills it in there.
17-yard gain for Murray, who is 9 of 14 for 136 yards in the first half of this Cotton Bowl. And Harris, who is out of the Dallas, Texas area, working that sideline pattern. Single running back is Anthony Toney. Battles his way inside the 45-yard line. Gerald Robinson, 95 of Auburn, in there to help out and bring him down. He's a fine defensive player, Robinson is.
All conference in the Southeastern Conference and really high on him.
Well, when I visited Auburn, it was a couple of weeks after the Alabama loss. Boy, did they take that loss tough down there.
Oh, that traditional rivalry down there, that is really something.
Murray is back. Quick pass deflected. The rushman getting to it that time and knocking it incomplete. Now it'll be 3rd down for Texas A&M. When you think about it, after looking several times at the videotape of that Alabama game, if you're an Auburn fan, you have every right to think you had it won when you were inside of 50 minutes and you had Mike Shula and Ray Perkins in difficulty back there. Murray calling a timeout as he comes out of the huddle. 3:12 to go here in the first half. And Murray will come over and confer with Jackie Sherrill. So Texas A&M is located in College Station, Texas, and let's take a look at this Southwest Conference school campus.
150 years after its founding, frontiers are still being explored in the Lone Star State and certainly at Texas A&M. For students and teachers, frontiers are those of the mind, like the universe constantly expanding. For researchers, new horizons are searched on land in finding better ways to feed a hungry world. Beneath the sea in secrets guarded by centuries. And beyond our planet, probing mysteries not yet gleaned. At Texas A&M, a new frontier simply means a new idea.
Auburn University. Students who come here have a strong desire for a learning experience that will prepare them for a meaningful career. There's an atmosphere here that promotes new ideas and creative thinking. A college education begins with a strong faculty and a bright group of students, and Auburn professors take the time to give their students the attention they need to develop their minds, so that those who leave are better prepared to adapt to an ever-changing world, or perhaps even to change it.
So we have seen both campuses, and there is a certain similarity to the two schools. Auburn living for many years in the shadow of Alabama, and Texas A&M having to put up with Texas. And now both schools are starting to emerge into their own here in the last decade. It's 3rd down, 3:12 to go, first half. Murray throws one quickly. Thompson intercepted. Coming over is Jimmy Warren, 45, to pick it off.
This is one of the few times that Tom Powell, a free safety, number 9, right there. Watch him blitz on this. And, of course, Jimmy Warren does a great job. Murray reacts beautifully. He's got one-on-one coverage. From up here, it looked like he had the lead, but the ball was slightly underthrown. A great job by Jimmy Warren reacting to the ball while it was in the air.
Well, the blocking pattern, not expecting Powell to come, they leave the alley open. And Murray, seeing number 9, pressuring him, threw quickly. Error, as you pointed out, it was underthrown and intercepted by Warren. And now Pat Dye and Auburn, they will have a chance with 3:06 to go in leading at the half or perhaps even add to it. It's 13-12, Auburn over Texas A&M. Bo Jackson getting to the 19-yard line. Wayne Asbury, 16 from that Aggie secondary, bringing the Heisman Trophy winner down.
Brent, with 2:50 left to go, I think I would try to get that ball back in Bo's hands on a pass, a screen, or some kind of play like they had, because once he gets out in the open, the offensive line of Auburn is not establishing and controlling the Texas A&M defense. Texas is doing a good job.
Washington to throw. Incomplete. James Flowers, 15, was covering Freddie Weigand. Oh, we're 2:25 away from half, and coming up, we'll visit with Lindsey Nelson, and he'll take you through the history of this great bowl game. And we'll meet the Chevrolet Coach and Players of the Year. And, of course, we'll have some of the halftime pageantry here from Dallas. Could not ask for a better day, weather conditions
Beautiful.
for a football game.
Beautiful.
Third and 8. One setback. It's Bo. He slips out as a receiver, but Washington looking the other way. Throws incomplete. Overthrew Weigand and out of bounds. I tell you, Arrow, I got to have Bo Jackson throw the ball.
I think you're right. Absolutely right. Either that or have Washington throw him the ball.
Colbert to punt.
Well, he got off one of his weak punts last time of only 30 yards.
It's been sort of progressively coming back after that 61-yarder to open this Cotton Bowl. He'll hit this one near the 10.
Well, there's a better one.
Hawkins, 34. And they force him into the middle, not letting him get outside containment that time. A 46-yard punt and only a 6-yard return. Plenty of time, Coach, for A&M.
2 minutes and 8 seconds. That's plenty of time for Murray.
Murray coming on into the huddle. His tight end has been his favorite target so far, number 29, Rod Bernstein, but he also has capable receivers in Jeff Nelson, who led the Southwest Conference in receptions. He's been deadly on this down. Should have been handled. Incomplete.
Looked like he might have thrown that one a little too hard. He didn't have much distance between himself and the receiver. It looked like he really unloaded it.
That was Woodside, Coach, who scored a touchdown on that one running play, who came out of the wing spot. 2nd and 10. Ball is at the Aggie 34-yard line. One setback is Vic. This is complete again to Bernstein, the tight end, short of a first down. It'll be a 3rd down play coming up. Now warming up is the other kicker. That is Scott Slater of Texas A&M. It is possible that if they get close, Jackie Sherrill will attempt to use Slater. Murray's pass complete for the first down. Woodside, and he gets inside the 20-yard line down to the 12. Tom Powell finally brought him down. They did not converge well in that secondary.
Well, it looked like he was trapped on the inside, and the linebackers were going to get him, but he escaped from them. And, of course, the secondary people had to recover. They were in the too deep. Let's take another look at it here. Murray slides outside the pocket to the left, and he drills it right in. You can see number 47, Carricker, thought he was going to knock it off. And 93, Andre Bruce misses him. And then, of course, the secondary people, you see Warren coming over, and number 3, Porter. Finally, 9, the free safety, Tom Powell, gets him down.
Woodside, the sophomore from Louisiana, having a big game. He's in at the tail. On the pitch to him. He comes, and he is met there on the short side and run out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. A&M trailing Auburn by a point in this Cotton Bowl, 13-12. The Aggies can get a first down inside the 3-yard line. But with a minute to go, of course, they're thinking touchdown right now. A field goal, however, would put them ahead. Johnson checks in. The throw is come out of bounds. Incomplete. Shea Walker. And he is arguing that he was pushed out of bounds as he made the catch.
Warren did a nice job again. Jimmy Warren, number 45 on the sideline. Got enough contact on him to get him out of bounds.
Here is Warren. Murray drilling the pass to Walker. Walker going up. And Warren getting right at him to make sure. At least make it tough on the official. Make him make the call, right, Coach?
He was out of bounds. Good
Third
call.
and 8. Kevin Murray not liking what he was seeing down there. And he will call timeout. And he'll come on over here and confer with the coaching staff. Meanwhile, let's us take a listen and see this message from the NCAA. Errol, let's take one more look at that pass.
You can see the ball's deflected right there by number 41 Thomas, but the ball is caught by Walker right there. He is knocked out of bounds. He wasn't even close to being in bounds.
Well, I don't know if they have a short pattern for Bernstein, but he has certainly been a dangerous receiver for Murray. This is third down. The ball is at the 10-yard line. Bernstein trying to get free. They throw back to Nelson, who can't get it. It was crossing underneath the tight end that time. It'll be fourth down, and A&M will attempt a field goal with Scott Slater. He'll be the second kicker that they will have used this half.
Watch Nelson in motion here, and he cuts clear across. He's wide open. The defenders run into one another, which he wanted to have happen, but the ball is thrown slightly behind him by Kevin Murray. Otherwise, it would have been a score.
A 26-yard attempt by Slater. Kick is on its way, and Slater puts A&M ahead. The sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, gets an opportunity, and another barefooted kicker has given Texas A&M the lead with 50 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 15-13. The Aggies. And now again we'll get to see the 12th man. Those 10 non-scholarship students waving the towels and getting ready to come downfield for the Aggies. The yell leader getting the student body whipped up. No one has ever returned a kickoff more than 29 yards against this group. And Slater will kick it off. Touchback. Errol, when we think about Auburn's offense, it is very difficult for them to strike 80 yards because they are not equipped with the kind of a passing game to work against the clock right now.
Well, basically the drives they put on against Alabama, and for most of the year, is evidenced by the fact they only have 2 touchdown passes. The one that Bo just ran was their third by Washington. And they generally grind it out, possession football. And I really think that's what they're going to have to do in the second half, maintain possession to keep it away if they possibly can.
Jeff Berger, number 12, stepping into your picture, is the new quarterback. He's the sophomore from Cedartown, Georgia. Handing off to the fullback, and Reggie Ware straight ahead with time running down here. They get it down to 40 seconds. Washington leaves, having completed 2 of 7 passes for Pat Dye. Dye wanting the messenger service to hurry up a little bit and get the play in from the sideline. Lawyer Tillman, a Fleet freshman, checks in, and you would have to think that they are setting the stage here to go long in his direction if they can. Berger is back, waits, throws down the left, and it is complete at the 45-yard line. 8 seconds left on the clock. Weigand, the intended receiver, a 31-yard gain. Era, do they have enough time to run a play and get the field goal unit on the field?
Well, it's going to be really close with that 8 seconds. He'd have to run an out pattern, probably at the 35-yard line, which would be about 11-yard gain to kill the clock.
That pass was thrown very well. Weigand got in between the zone defenders, and let's take a look at Freddie Weigand, who reminds some of Terry Beasley, simply because he has the same colored hair, right? Flaming red, number 14 going up, concentrating, and making a good catch against the Aggies.
Kip Corrington that time, the safety man number 10, sort of got off balance with a step that he took. He was in good position, but got out of balance.
So a reminder, of course, we've got the Cowboys and the Rams Saturday afternoon. We'll start our coverage with the NFL Today at 3:30 Eastern Time, live from Anaheim Stadium. Then on Sunday, we'll take the entourage into Soldier Field, Giants and the Bears. The NFL Today will be live from Chicago, 12 noon Eastern Time. Berger, the quarterback. Middleton, the motion man. They pitch to Jackson. He steps outside near the 40-yard line with 3 seconds showing on that clock.
Well, they're going to give it a try, I think. No, I guess not. Colbert, no, I guess they're going to give it a try.
Chris Johnson will attempt a field goal with 3 seconds to go. Colbert is in because he is the holder for Johnson.
Right.
So he will put the ball down. And this will be a 57-yard attempt by Johnson. And it is short. The Aggies will take a lead over Pat Dye and Auburn. Into the locker room here at the intermission of the 50th annual Cotton Bowl Classic. Texas A&M leading Auburn 15-13. We'll be back with the memories of Cotton Bowls past and the rest of our halftime activities.
The 50th Cotton Bowl Classic is sponsored by Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in ¡86. The investment firm of Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Ready to start the second half. Texas A&M with its famed 12th man kickoff team set to go downfield. Those non-scholarship students, walk-ons who tried out, if you will. It started back in 1983. There were 200 candidates, all of whom played high school football, but all of whom were a step too slow or perhaps an inch or two too short. But they have found a spot in the hearts of Aggie fans everywhere, and here they come. Kickoff fielded at the 10, and from the left side, the return by Auburn out to the 35. Now, for a look at that Auburn offense, let's go down on the field, and here's Jim Nance.
Well, Brent, Pat Washington will not start the second half at quarterback for Auburn. He has a bruised thigh, and if it doesn't loosen up, he will not return. Jeff Berger, the sophomore, will quarterback Auburn in this series. Let's go back upstairs.
And here is Jeff Berger on the field. This is a first down starting the second half. The Tigers trail Texas A&M by 2 points. Berger has set behind him Agee and, of course, Bo Jackson. The toss to Bo. Hole closes quickly on the right side at the 40. Larry Kelms, 65, their leading tackler, jumps in there, and there are some of the halftime numbers.
Well, you can see the total yardage when you combine the two is 298 yards for Texas A&M and just 150 for Auburn, and that is the big figure right there. Of course, the score is still very close, 15-13.
Error in that first half, the All-American linebacker, Johnny Holland, up against the Auburn offense, had only 2 tackles and assisted on 4 others. They run right straight up the middle, and getting away from Kelm momentarily was Tommy Agee.
Good little fake there inside to draw the linebackers to the right, and of course then Berger slipped the ball and the fullback's hands Agee, and he made good yardage on the play. This is what they need to do.
Take a look at this action in heavy. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're an umpire in college or professional football, that traffic can get you. And it's amazing, Eric, to me that more umpires don't get knocked about 5 yards like that one did.
Well, Jeff Parks got 2 blocks that time.
That's right. A first down for Auburn to start the second half. In case you were not with us at the start of the game, Texas A&M fumbled, and Pat Dye and Auburn took it in and had an early lead. A&M then scoring twice, and Bo Jackson electrified this crowd of 73,000 with a 73-yard touchdown run after taking a pass from Pat Washington. The backup quarterback, Scott Berger, at the controls for Auburn. He throws short. Domingo Bryant intercepts. Way underthrown. Bryant is across midfield and down at the 48, and another big play by number 6 of Texas A&M.
They had the receiver open here. Berger throws the ball, but it's underthrown, as you pointed out, Brent. You'll see the receiver open. Domingo Bryant does a beautiful job of reacting to the ball while it's in the air. The secondary has played exceptionally well.
1st and 10 for Kevin Murray. Woodside and Tony are the running backs, and also Tony gets the first down call. Gerald Robinson and Tracy Rocker rock him down on first down, and there is Domingo Bryant, who made more big plays than any defender in the Southwest Conference this season.
He's had 7 sacks, does a lot of blitzing. Good player.
2nd and 9. Murray brings Nelson in motion, and he's got him inside the 35-yard line. Powell bringing him down. 1st and 10 for the Aggies. This Kevin Murray has got some live arm.
I was thinking the same thing. Boy, he really drills this one in there. Look at it from the side. That ball is not in the air very long, and it's right on target, folks. There he is. He gets good protection here. There's the zip. He really lets it go. And that ball is right there to the receiver.
Tony turns upfield. Getting to the 27-yard line. Carricker, 47, smacking him down there. Coach Jackie Sherrill in his 4th year after taking that highly publicized $250,000 annual contract to come down to Texas A&M. Did the job this year. When they had to, they beat SMU, Arkansas, and Texas to win the Southwest title. Tony again in the middle, squeezing close to the 20-yard line. Pat Thomas, 41, bringing him down there. For years, they have told Aggie jokes down here in the state of Texas. Yesterday at the banquet, Coach Jackie Sherrill stood up and told the audience, the Aggie joke that I've been hearing recently is, what do you call an Aggie 4 years after he's out of Texas A&M? The boss.
They like that one.
1st down. Woodside in motion. Pitch. Tony cuts inside. He's free. At the 5. He'll score. The Aggies have another touchdown in the Cotton Bowl. pressure is on Pat Dye and Auburn. They must play catch-up football. It has been difficult for this team. A&M electing to go for 2 points, leading 21-13. Murray will throw. Diving catch is not good. Nelson going after the ball, and it'll stay at 21-13. A&M leading Auburn. So 2 turnovers have helped set up 2 of the 3 Aggie scores.
Watch 95, Gerald Robinson, the left end, right there, fires to the inside, overruns it, and of course Tony cuts it back. Then he finds the daylight. Right there you see number 46, who is Edward Phillips. Number 9, Tom Powell misses. There's another miss. Great running by Tony, and they're in the end zone for another touchdown, and Texas A&M is a little ahead of schedule. They average 31 points a game.
Trying to boost it to 23, just underthrown and through the hands of a diving Jeff Nelson. So we'll come back. Tony has scored. It's 21-13. A small point, Coach, but I'm really surprised that they went for a 2-point conversion leading by 8.
I agree with you. Put the 9th point on the board, and it requires 2 scores. Now they could be tied with a touchdown and a 2-point play.
So here come the 12 men, all of them non-scholarship, including the kicker Slater, who is also a walk-on. And now we'll see them strut their stuff. I could hear some pads cracking and popping, and Fullwood was trying so hard to break one. But Dean Barry, number 1, 12th man, was able to get down. But I must say that Auburn doing better than the average team on the returns. Let's take a look at the 12th man.
Teams have been managed to crack an opening on the seam right here, as you'll see it. But the reaction from the secondary people coming in closes down the hole very quickly, and they've been able to do a good job.
I think I would have stayed in English class. 1st and 10. The ball is at the 29-yard line. Here's the pitch to Bo Jackson, but he's jammed up. No hole there. Jay Muller cut him off. Pat Dye conferring on the sidelines. The plays are called upstairs by assistant coach Crow. Pat with final approval. And Michigan has jumped back. Weren't they behind 14-3? And now Bo Schembechler is in complete command of that Fiesta Bowl game.
Oh, good job there.
This is a 2nd and 9. Berger faking to Jackson. And the play has been whistled dead. There was a penalty flag thrown on the far side against the Tigers. And that is the first penalty against Pat Dye here this afternoon in this Cotton Bowl.
Legal procedure on the white, still first down.
Arrow, when the score was 15-13, you said to me, I think Pat Dye should try to run the ball and stay with what got him here. Now that it has grown to 21-13, do you still agree with that?
Well, I think that they've got to do everything they possibly can to keep the ball away from the Texas A&M offense. They are just so explosive. Run the clock down. They are only 1 touchdown and a 2-point play away from tying the ball game.
Well, here's Berger to throw. Goes to Wigand, who was out of bounds on the far sideline. No completion. It'll be a 3rd down. James Flowers, 15, was the Aggie defensive back working on that side.
Trying to run an out pattern for a 1st down. Both the receivers going down, breaking to the outside. Flowers comes right up. Good coverage. Ball's out of bounds. There's no way it could have been Wigand could have caught that ball for any kind of yardage.
Conferring on the play. 3rd down and 14. They'll run Bo Jackson. If he can get outside and get the 1st down and then some. Across midfield. That marvelous speed.
Great call. Sprint draw. Texas was deployed to put a blitz on. Domingo Bryant was coming from that corner spot, and he ran right inside. Number 30, Agee, does a good job in his lead block. Watch here as the hole really opens as they're rushing the passer, thinking it's going to be a pass. There goes Agee, 30, leading the play. And Wigand throws a block downfield, and Jackson has finally run out of bounds after getting the first down and additional yardage, 32 to be exact.
Fullwood is in, and Reggie Ware, the fullback and the short man, crashes to the 40-yard line. O'Brien and Sadler making the stop there for the Aggies. Scott Bolton checks in. Fullback Ware bending down into the huddle to hear what play has been called by the Auburn staff. Fullwood now is the tailback. Two tight ends, one wide receiver. Here's Fullwood. And he bounces free and gets to the 30-yard line for a first down. Bryant finally wrestling him to the turf there. But that was a fine-looking run by Fullwood, who will now leave as Bo Jackson reappears for Auburn. You know, with the Tigers on the move here, we want to extend a greeting to our viewers in Central Alabama who are watching on WAKA Channel 8. Today marks the station's first day of broadcasting CBS programming exclusively in the Selma, Montgomery area. And your favorite football team just ran Agee right straight ahead. He busts past the 25-yard line on that first down. You know, having said that's their favorite team, let me just add to that sentence, you are watching your favorite team on this New Year's Day. I don't want all those letters from the Roll Tide folks down there. That other favorite team down there has already played its bowl game. Boy, that Mike Shula is a good quarterback, isn't he? Berger handing off. Bo Jackson trying to come around the corner, out of bounds before he could get to the 20. Wayne Asbury and Johnny Holland over there cutting him off.
Well, they're in that 4-down area, and that's exactly what I would do, is stay on the ground and keep pounding it. That's the way they've had success this year. Jackson's now 14 for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. Of course, that was at 73-yarders, so he's up to 140-some yards in total offense.
A touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and we'd have a deadlock in the Cotton Bowl. 8:54 to go in the third. Short man Ware spinning, and he is down to the 17-yard line, and it was Johnny Holland, the All-America linebacker, tackling him there. Tommy Agee replacing Ware, and Holland looking over at the sideline for the defensive call.
Watch on this third down play. Here's Jackson carrying out his fake completely on a third down and short yardage, like they're going to pitch the ball out to him. Pulling. He's an unselfish football player that all the team members love.
There's a fake to Jackson again. He'll throw incomplete. Now, Todd Howard did not buy the fake. He went right for the quarterback, and that disrupted the play. Bryant had coverage on the outside, but number 73 is the one who disrupted that attack by Auburn.
Well, they've had great difficulty in trying to establish any kind of a passing game. Now they're faced with a second down situation in 10.
They'll use their 2 tight ends. Agee's the fullback. Wegand is split out far to the left. Jackson in the middle, close to the 10-yard line. It'll be a third down. Auburn must get to the 7 for a first down in this drive.
It was again a fine fullback lead. They had a great hole blocked at the point of attack. And Jackson found it, but now they're faced with third down, just 3 or 4. If they did run that on the first play, Brent, they would have had second down and short.
Auburn quarterbacks are only 3 of 11 throwing today. And that's why they'll run Jackson, and he's going to be short. Alex Morris was the first Aggie to hit him, and Kelm was not too far behind.
They're trying to muscle it right off this right side. You can see 82 there blocking down to the inside, which is Jeff Parks. But there just wasn't enough of a seam for him to get the first down.
Now the coaches having some difficulty with the play being called, and they must hurry, of course, with the 30-second clock in progress, but we're going to have a timeout called too. So there was some confusion on the far sideline, and we'll be right back. Well, Pat Dye used that timeout to decide he would kick a field goal in this situation. It is 4th and 2. Chris Johnson with a 26-yard attempt. And Johnson boots one through for the Auburn Tigers. And they inch a little closer to Texas A&M. 7:19 to go in the third quarter, and A&M leads by 5 points, 21-16. Saturday, the NFL Today, live from Anaheim. We'll be on the air at 3:30 Eastern Time. We'll meet John Robinson, his Los Angeles Rams, and we'll check in live. See who's going to play quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Down here in Dallas, everyone expects it to be Danny White. And everyone expects it to be a very close football game out there Saturday afternoon, too. So it'll be the Cowboys and the Rams, and our coverage starts at 3:30 Eastern Time here on CBS. And then on Sunday, well, the cast moves to Soldier Field in Chicago. Dan Deerdorf will join us there, and we'll take a look at a city that has gone wild over its NFL team. One that's gone wild over the Giants is New York. I got to the airport when I left to come down here, and the fellow checking my bag at the airlines, he said to me, the New Jersey Jets are out, but the New York Giants are still playing.
You must own an airline, you know? You walk a few miles.
Here's the kickoff by Johnson. And Rod Harris of the Aggies with the return. He gets out to the 22-yard line. 7:14 to go here in the third. It is 21-16. Well, here comes that Aggie offense that has impressed you so much today, Coach.
Well, they really have been tremendous. I tell you, I'm really impressed with them. It's one of the best offenses I have seen. They're so well balanced. Keep a lot of pressure on you.
And they're so young. And next year they've got a 368-pound tackle who was redshirted this year because of an injury. Marshall Land will join them. They run with Vic, who has replaced Tony in this series, and he gets out past the 25-yard line. They're so tough what they can alternate fullbacks who are of almost equal ability.
As we talked at the top of the show, the ability of both Vic and Tony and the yardage that they've made. They had 20 touchdowns between the two of them. Of course, as we pointed out, the Jackson had 17, so you can see the reason why because of this offense.
Vic with 58 yards, Tony with 53. They're the fullback twins of the Aggies, and here comes Vic looking for daylight. Got just beyond the 30-yard line. Brian Smith, number 90, meeting him there for Auburn. It will be short of a first down. So they'll set up a power formation here. It's about third and perhaps a yard and a half. Ira Valentine has come into the full house set along with Harry Johnson.
Well, it's going to be close.
It sure is. The middle of that Auburn defense was ready. Kevin Murray, 14, checking over there to see if Vic got that football past the line. They'll use an official's timeout to measure for it.
I don't think he got it from this vantage point. It's going to be awful close.
Well, Tracy Rocker and Arthur Johnson of Pat Dye's defensive unit plugged that hole.
That's short.
He is that short. And Texas A&M will punt at the 6-minute mark of the third. Could wind up being a key third down in this Cotton Bowl. We'll have to see. Tiger holding the War Eagle aloft over there. Gingerly. Todd Shantz is back to punt. Trey Gaines, the return man. Low punt. Gaines lets it bounce. And it takes an Aggie bounce. I'm not so sure he shouldn't have fielded it on one hop. Ball getting down to the 5-yard line. It'll be tough field position for Bo Jackson when we come back. A 65-yard punt. Well, let's go downstairs to Jim Nance. Jim?
Brent, one of the top sports stories, I believe, in 1985 was this young man winning a PGA event, amateur Scott Verplank. Scott, what are you doing these days?
Well, I'm in school finishing up at Oklahoma State.
How about golf coming up in the future? What do you have?
Oh, I have a lot of tournaments coming up. I'm going to play the Tournament Champions in about 2 weeks and play a few tour events as well as some college tournaments.
All right, we will see you at the Masters as well.
I'll be there.
Of course, we'll have that on CBS. The PGA Tour opens up in January 25th, the Phoenix Open here on CBS. Let's go back upstairs.
Young man with a great future. There's the pitch to Bo Jackson. From the 6-yard line, he comes out near the 12-yard line. Johnny Holland riding him down. Jeff Berger, the young quarterback who is under the gun right now for Pat Dye, stands 6 feet, weighs 200 pounds. He started a couple of games for Dye at quarterback against Southern Mississippi and Tennessee, and he played for Auburn in 5 games. He rushed for 46 yards on 12 carries. His longest pass play was 42 yards to Freddie Wagan. And he will run Reggie Ware straight ahead into the heart of that Aggie defense. That's going to leave them with a 3rd and 4. Time running down here in the 3rd quarter. 21-16, Texas A&M leading Auburn.
Might look at that sprint draw again that they had success with on Jackson in the passing situation.
There's Jackson cutting upfield into the hole, and the first down for Auburn. Big first down. Gets them out of a punting situation, keeps the drive alive.
Let's take a look at Johnny Holland, number 11, the All-American linebacker right there, keeping on his feet, moving with the pitch sweep, warding off the blocker, 87 Middleton, and then coming back inside and holding on to Bo Jackson. Nice job by Holland.
Jackson has now rushed for 90 yards. Agee returns as the Auburn fullback. Middleton is in motion. The fake to Agee, the pitch to Jackson. And the defense would not let Jackson turn inside that time. And Domingo Bryant rode him down. The Aggies held their position defensively. Watch Jackson, who is such a great talent, run under control. He lets his blocking develop. Then he will see whether or not there's daylight there. Carrington has cut off the inside. Bryant comes off of Middleton and makes a splendid tackle right there. 2nd and 9, and of course, yesterday one of the plays we watched Auburn practice was the halfback option pass from this situation. They'll run Jackson straight ahead into the hole, and he has another first down. Corrington, 10, brings him down. Kip Corrington, academic All-American down here with a grade point average of 3.94 in philosophy.
You see the sprint draw again in the passing situation. Good blocking. Randy Stokes comes around, number 64, and pulls to lead it. Good yardage on the play, a first down.
And that put Jackson over the 100-yard mark rushing. And that is his 22nd 100-yard game. Brent Fullwood. You know, he's only played 39 games. How about that naked bootleg by Berger? He'll keep it. Now he'll chuck it downfield to Parks. And Parks gets across midfield. Had he crossed the scrimmage line, Jackie Sherrill is complaining that he did, but there is no flag down there. It's a 23-yard gain. Now a couple of the officials are conferring. Now the referee brings in a 3rd one down there for a huddle.
Line of scrimmage is
And
just in front of the marker right here. Let's see how close he gets to it. Oh, he's past it. His right foot is past the line. They missed it.
But he was close. He was close, Coach.
That only counts in horseshoes, as they say, huh?
First down for Auburn.
That was the official missed that call. That should have been brought back.
And it could be a big factor in this football game,
yes,
too, if they can keep this drive going.
Definitely.
There's Fullwood. Got away from one tackle, but not Johnny Holland. Let's take a look at that arrow. You suppose you can draw the line of scrimmage for us?
Here's the line of scrimmage, and his foot will hit about here. You see the ball is just beyond that. Let's take a look again. He makes the fake, bootlegs the ball. Now watch that line and watch his right foot and where the ball was. His right foot is way past it.
Not as close as I thought.
That's right.
No wonder Sherrill was so upset down there.
He had a right to be.
2nd and 9. Berger under pressure just as he's being walloped by Sadler. Held the ball perhaps a fraction of a count too long that time. Rod Sadler someday will be strutting in the National Football League. He's out of Columbia, Georgia, and he still has another year to go at Texas A&M. Freddie Wigand had broken open deep that time for Auburn era if they could have gotten it to him.
Yeah, right, exactly, Brent. He just did not release it. He couldn't pull the trigger.
Here's 3rd and 9. Fullwood's the tailback. Drills one to the sideline, and it is complete over there on the far side of the field. And that is Tillman. So a first down for Auburn. The ball is at the 35-yard line. The freshman contributes. And this is their most impressive quarter of the day. And of course, one of the major changes was at quarterback, with Berger driving them and hitting that 3rd down pass, getting credit for another completion in the previous series. AG straight ahead, big hole to the 27-yard line. So this will be 2nd and short, and this is where Pat Dye likes to keep his running team, is 2nd and short.
They got to keep that ball on the ground, I think, and just march it out. That's their best bet. Now, the reason they're having such a good quarter is they're having a good offensive quarter. They're keeping the ball away from Texas A&M.
2nd and 2. The pitch outside to Jackson. Jackson to the corner, inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. Another Auburn first down.
Berger did a good job on that play because he was forced very early, and it was tough for him to shovel that ball out, but he did get it to Jackson. Good reaction on the option play. Watch right here. He fakes the ball to A.G. and just pitches it out beyond Bryant, who was dogging, and good fielding by Bo Jackson, and he thrust right through for the first down.
A year ago, Auburn was operating out of the wishbone attack. Now Jackie Sherrill must look at the eye, and that, of course, is to take advantage of Bo Jackson's skills. They run that sprint draw, and Jackson is stopped at the 15-yard line. Larry Kelm, 65. They're the meeting for the Aggies. Auburn trailing by 5, but driving. Inside of a minute, 3rd quarter. And the Tigers have dominated here so far in this 2nd half. Here's Fullwood, who is checked in, breaking free with a 2nd effort, and he's across the 10-yard line. It's a muscular Auburn team. We saw this kind of a drive in the 4th quarter against Alabama.
Exactly the same type of drive, staying on the ground, muscling the ball. Good 2nd effort here. And he comes out where they've got, what, 3rd and about 2.
This is 3rd and 2, and the 14th play in this series. The short man straight ahead. Reggie Ware, who was operating out of that set along with Fullwood, and the officials will call a timeout here and make sure that they get a proper measurement. 5 seconds up on the clock before we will start the final quarter of what has been a very entertaining Cotton Bowl game. He's got it.
Well, that possession time was really a key factor. Watch the left tackle right here, which is Steve Wallace, 78. Doesn't get the job done. And that's the end of the quarter.
15 minutes of the 50th annual Cotton Bowl Classic left. A 5-point game. We'll be right back.
Everything else is just a light. Visa, accepted worldwide for shopping, dining, and travel. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Tenneco, building on quality.
We start leading Auburn here in the 50th Cotton Bowl game. It's 21-16. Auburn with a first and goal. Here's the pitch to Bo Jackson. He scored twice, and this time he's just inside the 2-yard line. Era, Auburn is doing what you said they had to do.
Exactly. Maintain possession of the ball. In that third quarter, they had it 11 minutes and 49 seconds to A&M's 3-11, and you can't generate much of an offense with that. That's exactly what they had to do, and they've done it in the third period. Whether or not they can do it in the fourth, that's yet to see.
Kyle Collins checks in with the play. It's second and goal. Just a little longer than 2 yards for the touchdown. Jackson is stuffed that time. Todd Howard, number 73, led the Aggie defenders into that hole. This will make it a third and goal from the 2-yard line. Defense, which has yielded 2 touchdowns to Bo Jackson today from 5 yards, 73 yards on a pass, determined to stop Auburn here.
In the Alabama game, it took Auburn to the 4th down, and they just barely made it with their fullback, Ware, I believe, going over the middle. Let's see what happens here.
Jackson is tripped up. He was going to go airborne. And nose guard Sammy O'Bryant was the first to get to a foot.
Well, he really tries to get in here, but the defense of Texas A&M is doing a great job at the goal line. You can see the fullback, A.G., just dives over the pile. If he'd had the ball, he'd have made it.
It is 4th down. 13 minutes to go. Auburn trailing by 5 points. The War Eagle watching on. The Cotton Bowl could be coming down to this play. They will have to call a timeout because only 6 seconds remain on the 30-second clock. Berger to the sidelines. Auburn is slow in getting its plays out there. We're back, and from the shadow of the end zone, you can see the A&M defenders exhorting the 12th man up in the stands to give them all the help they can. And Auburn will have to concentrate at that line of scrimmage to get this play called, Coach.
I wonder whether or not they'll take a chance and go to the option play, which is very difficult to defend at this point.
That's AG 30. Jackson 34 won't get it. Larry Kelm, 65. Let the defenders in, and they stop the Heisman Trophy winner.
Great goal line stand. Let's take a look right here. Jackson gets the ball, but there's a lot of penetration right there by Kelm, 65. He never had a chance.
Watch from behind the defense, keeping an eye out for 34, and ever so quickly it was Kelm who slashed in there and got a hand on him. First down, A&M hands the ball to Anthony Toney, their senior fullback, and they will start to attempt a time-consuming drive. One more look, Era, at that play.
Great, again, you can't say enough about this Texas A&M defense rising to the occasion here when they were challenged at the goal line. Kelm was the first to get in there, and then he got support from the rest of that Aggie team.
And Coach, it is 2nd and 8. Aggies leading by 5. And it's Tony again from the I formation. They use the short man, and Harold Halloman, the nose guard for Auburn, stopped him.
Well, it may have been justice in that particular drive or that failure by Auburn on the basis of that one play in the middle of the field, which was really should have been called back and forced into a punt.
That was a 3rd and 8, and Berger stepped over the scrimmage line and was credited with a completed pass that kept the drive going. Now there's some confusion for A&M, but the extra player gets off the field in time. On this 3rd down, Murray throw from his own end zone and complete to Duncan Webb. What a big play by the Aggies coming out as Kevin Murray coolly steps back in his own end zone and nails his tight end.
Boy, a gutsy play here by Murray. He finds Webb crossing, wide open here. Everybody's chasing instead of being in front to react to the ball. And it's a 1st down. Big play.
And the young man will return to guide the fortune of the Aggies. Applauding that 11-yard gain. He's 13 of 23, 200 yards passing on the day. Running Tony, and Rocker rocks him. Well, it's not for the national championship, but it's been a good one, hasn't it?
It really has been a great football game. And there's still a lot of it left with 11 minutes left.
2nd down and 8.
I don't think I would disagree with the choice of Dye to go for it down there, because he would say, okay, I want that lead if I can get it. If I don't, I'll leave the ball at the 1-yard line for him. But Murray bailed him out and has brought him out to the 20.
Nelson in motion, and they will pitch to Johnson. Johnson nimbly got around that corner and out close to the 25-yard line. Kevin Porter was there, and the Auburn offensive players watching from the sideline, wanting to get the ball back with time running down. You know, when you look at this 8-3 record, Pat Dye and Auburn this year, they lost to Tennessee. They did not play well at all, and Dye is the first to admit it. But they were beaten late by Florida, 14-10, and then they lost the heartbreaker to Alabama. The common denominator, all had outstanding quarterbacks who beat Pat Dye and Auburn. There's another one operating right now. Kevin Murray on 3rd and 3 for the Aggies. Back to throw it. Could not run out of trouble. Number 74, Tracy Rocker, bringing him down, and that will force a punt right here. A big defensive play.
It really was. They had man-to-man coverage underneath with deep secondary and zone. It worked for him that time because Murray had to run the ball on the inside, and the line got him.
So the punt will come off the foot of Todd Shantz and Trey Gaines.
Gaines is about due for a return. He's been very steady during the year.
Another member of the Auburn baseball team has it at the 40. Trying to come free. And he is out of bounds across the 50-yard line. Auburn is 49 yards away from scoring. A 12-yard return by Trey Gaines. We'll be right back. Well, Auburn's last 2 drives, they went 12 plays, they went 18 plays. They got a field goal out of the 2, but they dominated the clock. They're coming back with Bo Jackson, and he was slammed by Mueller. And there are those 2 drives, Coach.
They got a field goal out of the 1, and of course, you saw what happened on that 18-yard play drive. They failed at the 2-yard line on 4th down, but look at the time they had that ball.
That last hit was about as hard as Bo Jackson has been hit all day. 2nd and 10. Berger with time goes to Parks, and Parks is down inside the 40-yard line. That'll be close to a 1st down. Johnny Holland was the linebacker who had coverage on the tight end.
Ball was thrown very low, but I think Jeff Parks did a fine job in fielding it. You see right here, Berger gets plenty of time this time. Ball is real low. Great catch by Parks. Nice job.
Just short of the 1st down. 3rd and short. And Reggie Ware has the 1st down for Auburn. You know, a diving catch of a low-thrown ball has to bring back a sort of an unhappy memory for you when Cotton Spire here, the Longhorns, did in the Irish that year.
Exactly right. 4th down and 2, right down this left-hand corner. And Streeter hit Spire for the big play that maintained possession of the ball, and Texas beat us in that first ball game.
First down for Auburn. The ball is at the Aggies' 35-yard line. Berger to toss it to Jackson, who was flaring, but the coverage man was Holland outside.
Boy, nice job by Holland. He covered out there to the wide side. He has great speed. Came to Texas A&M as a quarterback, believe it or not. Now an All-American linebacker. And watch him come right out here. Berger drops the ball off to Jackson. Here comes Holland in the picture, clear from his inside strong linebacker position to make the play for a loss. Well, I guess maybe no gain.
Jackie Sherrill's defense had Domingo Bryant blitzing that time. He got in between the passer and Jackson. Holland went outside with Jackson. Now they'll run Bo again, trying to get around. He busts a Sadler tackler, and there is you-know-who. And now in the second half, Johnny Holland has come to life. He is Johnny on the spot right now.
This will be a tough call here.
3rd and 9.
Well, there's been a big difference in the first half and the second half by the rushing of the two teams. You see there the great play of Holland and Domingo Bryant in this ball game.
Jackson up the middle, squeezes it down to the 27, short of a first down, and number 11 is right there to meet number 34. Two All-Americans clashing right now.
Faced with that 4th down and short again.
This will be 4th and 2. Wouldn't you be tempted if you were Pat Dye to use Jackson as a decoy in a situation like this, Era?
Yeah, they'll probably be keyed. They've keyed on him. They've got to come up with something a little different. Here comes the goal line defense. Basil Jackson's in again, Brent.
He is a great freshman linebacker at Texas A&M. Here's Jackson. He will not get it. The Aggies were there. Wayne Asbury, the cornerback, came up. He was amongst the first to get a lick on Bo Jackson.
What a defensive performance the Aggies have put on in these last 2 efforts.
Not since 1968 have the Aggies come into the Cotton Bowl game. That day, they upset Alabama. They were an underdog when this game started against Auburn, but right now they lead it by 5, and we'll be back for the last 6 minutes in a moment. Hey, I see Jim Nance with a yell leader from Texas A&M. Let's get out of the field. Jim?
Brent, I'm with Thomas Buford, who is the brother of Maury Buford, the punter for the Chicago Bears. Thomas, you are the head yell leader here. How important has this crowd been today?
Jim, I tell you, you can't say enough about the 12th man. They've come alive during the SMU game at home at Kyle Field, the Arkansas game, the Texas victory, and right here today. And I tell you, they're great, and I love them. I love being an Aggie.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jim, thank you. And his Aggies have got a 1st and 10. They lead the Cotton Bowl by 5. And now on the pitch, it is Roger Beck slashing back inside to the 30-yard line. Did you hear what that yell leader said? He was the brother of Maury Buford. He's a great punter with the Chicago Bears, and he's probably watching this Cotton Bowl right now, and we'll see him, of course, Sunday in Soldier Field. He'll handle the punting for Mike Ditka against Bill Parcells and the Giants. Giants turned in some kind of an effort, didn't they, against the San Francisco 49ers? We'll see how Joe Morris does against that Bear defense. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Murray over the middle, you know who, Bernstein, and Bernstein to midfield, 45, 40, 35, and he's down to the 33-yard line. Another 37-yard reception by Rod Bernstein of Bryan, Texas. That is 6 catches for 108 yards by the tight end today, Era.
He'll delay in here, and then he'll come underneath. He hides, and then Murray dumps the ball off to him beautifully. And what a job he does as a tight end at 235 pounds running the football.
Clock is inside the 5-minute mark. That is Vick pounding straight ahead behind the Aggies' offensive line. Some of those men up front, Doug Williams, of course, the All-America right there, 75, opening the way. Randy Dawson, 64 next to him. Matt Wilson, 50 is the center. Randy Wiley, 58, he's the left guard. And Louis Cheek out of Fairfield, Texas, is over there at the other tackle spot.
Nice distribution of yardage for both Tony and Vick. Tony has 61 yards. Vick has 66 from that fullback position.
A&M will use its first timeout. Murray was somewhat confused. He was looking over at the sideline, and he wisely elected to use a timeout rather than have something go wrong. We'll be right back. 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in this, the 50th annual Cotton Bowl Classic. Texas A&M leading Auburn 21-16. Meanwhile, with time running out, inside of a minute, Michigan has just intercepted a Nebraska pass. They lead 27-23, and Bo Schembechler's Wolverines will attempt to run it out and end the Fiesta Bowl. Here's the pitch from Murray to Vick, and he cannot get the first down. Kevin Porter, number 3, bringing him down.
Porter did an excellent job. Looked like that option play had some leverage there, but Porter came in and made a nice play.
This will leave the Aggies with a 3rd and 7. And against Kevin Porter and his friends today, Murray has completed 14 of 24. Bo Jackson watching. He's rushed for 127 yards. They bring the end around. It's Nelson. Out of bounds, and there is a penalty marker down at the 28-yard line. Nelson did not get the first down, and we'll see what they call.
Looks like it might be a holding penalty, but here it is with a little reverse. It might be holding down the lower part of your right-hand screen, I believe. Couldn't quite see it there.
Well, they'll sort out the penalty right now, and Kevin Murray indicated that there was holding called, and we want to send along our congratulations to Bo Schembechler and the Michigan staff on the job they did this year. There will be a couple of teams at least voted higher in the rankings than the Wolverines, but I'm here to tell you that that football team could play with anybody. 27-23, they beat Nebraska. When you look back at that tie that they had down in Champaign, it was 3-all. Chris White booting that field goal with time running out. Then they lost on that last-second field goal to Iowa. What a comeback year by Michigan. They win the Fiesta Bowl.
Was against the offense.
A little more severe than the holding here. Jackie Sherrill up, questioning the call. For those of you who just joined us, certainly in the Michigan area, Texas A&M leads Auburn 21-16. We have 3:36 to go. Now, Bo Jackson ignited Auburn after a turnover. He scored. It was 7-0. Then A&M came back. Johnson got him, but the extra point was missed by Franklin. They scored again. Woodside from 22 yards out. They tried for 2, and they did not make it. Then Washington dropped 1 to Bo, and 73 yards later, Auburn was back. Slater, who replaced Franklin as the A&M field goal kicker, hit a 26-yarder. And then it was 21-13 as Tony ran it in. Auburn kicked a field goal. Now for Texas A&M and Kevin Murray, it is 3rd and 19. Nelson, he'll flare it out to the side. He hits Woodside. Woodside cuts back. He's at the 25, the 20. Speed inside the 10-yard line. A 38-yard play. Kevin Murray to Keith Woodside, who has already scored 1 touchdown, and the sophomore from Louisiana did the rest.
And did he do the rest? What a run that was. Here it is from the end zone. I mean, they made up all that yardage and all the way to the 5-yard line. Watch him cut back here. And he's got good speed. There's a great block. Let's see what happened down here. Someone got...
That was Tony Thompson, who stuck his helmet in there and took a blow. He's the injured player. Woodside appeared to have hurt his left arm, and Bo Jackson can only watch now. His defense will try everything to get Bo the ball back with a chance. Here is the first devastating block thrown. It is Vick coming downfield. He will cut right in front of Woodside, and he will take Jonathan Robinson completely out of the play right there at the 24-yard line. Then Woodside cuts upfield. Thompson joins him down there, and he was the player who was shaken up when he stuck his head in front of a defensive back. But that has given the Aggies a 1st and goal at the 4, and Kevin Murray on the afternoon, 15 of 25 for 284 yards. Aggies lead by 5. Johnson in motion. Vick behind the right side. He's stuffed by that Auburn defense. Jackson, who has rushed for 127 yards, caught another pass, 73 yards for a touchdown here this afternoon. His final game playing for Auburn, matched against Jackie Sherrill, who has come here from Pittsburgh, and 4 years later has a chance to win a Cotton Bowl. The first time the Aggies have been in the Cotton Bowl since 1968. And the whistle sounded. The whistle was blown as Murray rolled around. There was a penalty flag down, and the whistle sounded. Celebration continues, but there was illegal procedure and no touchdown. And Pat Dye gets a reprieve. So in a way, it is teacher against student, because back in the early 60s at Alabama, when Pat Dye was coaching the linebackers, the man across the field, Jackie Sherrill, was one of his players. Paul Bear Bryant was the head coach. Both men influenced so much by the Bear. And how ironic it is that the Bear lost to Texas A&M the last time they played in the Cotton Bowl back in '68. The Aggies come to the line. 2nd and goal. Murray pulling back for the corner. Touchdown. It's Woodside. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, I guess that penalty allowed the Texas A&M team to go with their stronger suit after having scored on that little bootleg. I thought to myself, well, that penalty might hurt him. Then I thought, no, Murray gives Murray the chance. He's got to be awful happy with both sides of the ball, the offense and the defense. Here's a look at it from a side. You see Murray come right back into the pocket. There's Woodside breaking right to the right of the screen. Takes an out pattern. Nobody's there. No coverage on him. And that was the touchdown. Woodside's had quite an afternoon.
And here is Kevin Murray, the quarterback, who has led this assault. Hitting Woodside in the corner. Jackie Sherrill. And now they work the swinging gate, and they get the 2-point conversion. Coach Sherrill has taken a 29-16 lead here in the Cotton Bowl. It is 29-16. And Bo Jackson watching from the other sideline, getting up for one more chance. It'll be the 12th man coming downfield. As the swinging gate puts 2 more points on the board. It's 29-16. Now you'll watch the non-scholarship students. Fullwood will down it back in the end zone. And the ball will come out to the 20-yard line after the touchback. Well, A&M turned in some electrifying moments in this Cotton Bowl.
On both sides of the ball, the offense, obviously, particularly in the first half where they had almost 300 yards. But the defensive goal line stand that would have given Auburn the lead was, to me, the key series in this football game for the Texas A&M ball club, because they would have fallen behind in the ball game. Of course, anything can happen with that kind of a situation.
Running the draw, Tommy Agee, the fullback. And he is out of bounds at the 29-yard line. James Flowers, 15, taking Agee out. And the Auburn career of Bo Jackson coming to an end. The final 2 minutes. 3 wide receivers, spread to the right. Berger back to throw. Intercepted! Domingo Bryant down at the 10-yard line. The big play man has intercepted his second pass of the game. And all those years of frustration by Aggie fans coming to an end on this New Year's Day in the Cotton Bowl. Berger was going over to the far sideline. Trey Gaines was the intended receiver. And just as he has done all year, Domingo Bryant was right there where the football was. And the short man right straight ahead is Anthony Toney to the 5-yard line. 1:30 and A&M about to win this 50th Cotton Bowl.
Domingo Bryant has really played one heck of a football game out here. He's been all over the field. He has supported the run. He's been in perfect position on the passing game. He's picked off 2 balls.
Down to the 2-yard line with Toney. Clock ticking away. Jackie Sherrill, Texas A&M, winning the Cotton Bowl over Auburn and Bo Jackson. From the full house, Toney stopped by the right side of that Auburn defense. It has been a wildly exciting Cotton Bowl game.
It really has. And there is the man that's had a sensational career.
Well, this is the end of one career, but the beginning of another. R.C. Slocum, the defensive coordinator, embracing head coach Jackie Sherrill, and Texas A&M busts in again. Anthony Toney. (35-16). This time they swing back. Instead of going for the 2, Slater will kick the 1. 36-16. It's over in Dallas. We'll be right back. It is so appropriate that with just 3 ticks of the clock, and the celebration that you saw on the sideline, Jackie Sherrill, it is so appropriate that with 3 seconds remaining, the 12th man is on the field for Texas A&M. They'll win it with the student body's representatives going downfield to defend this kickoff return. And they want to give him a chance on the short kick. And they've done it. Texas A&M has won the Cotton Bowl. 36-16. A game that featured so many plays, offensively and defensively. There was the goal line stand. Bo Jackson coming right at him, but he was stopped by the Aggies inside the 5-yard line.
This was a tremendous play, made the difference in the ball game, and here was the touchdown by Murray to Woodside to put the game out of reach. Now, hats off to Texas A&M for performances on both offense and defense. They did a great job.
And a reminder that Saturday on CBS at 3:30 Eastern Time, it'll be the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams as the NFC divisional playoffs continue this weekend in Anaheim and Chicago. And we wrap up the 50th Cotton Bowl Classic, a 20-point win by the champions of the Southwest Conference. Texas A&M beats Auburn 36-16. Bo Jackson closes out his college career, and now he'll look forward to another, either as an NFL star or a baseball player. Part of the celebration of the Aggies and all that frustration in the Cotton Bowl.